All right, let's get this started. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Janzer, and I finally am getting the last episode of this talk with GamerTron. Finally. So I'm not going to even try to recap everything we talk about. It's short enough, I think. This is the last thing, but like always, it's a really good episode, I should say. I was going to say a really good version. Really good part, really good episode. It's the last one. Show your support. Check out GamerTron if you haven't already, and appreciate all the support so far in this series. As you know, I've been going through a little bit of a change with my channel. Kind of switching gears to open up the floodgates and allow other content in. Now that I got word back from Drew at Digital Extremes that they're going to go ahead and take me off the official Warframe fan channel page. Doesn't really mean anything as far as my content for Warframe is concerned, because I've always been very spotty with it. What it really means is that someone else has an opportunity to get their butt up in that page. Got it up in that page's butt? Alright, anyways, I'm having a really good time with my Assassin's Creed 4 stuff, because I've been really, you know, I'm a melee guy. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to be showing some melee combat, but I really want to get to this ship part, and I just got my Jackdaw, and I might upload a little bit of that, the Jackdaw as well. But if you haven't seen, the AC4 stuff is pretty lighthearted. I'm not, you know, no need to be super pedantic about it. No need to massively nitpick it. I'm doing it for fun, and if you want to go and look at my stupidity, you are more than welcome to call me out for how dumb the gameplay is, because it's intended to be intentionally stupid. You know, I've got a series of the MLG Pro Assassin, you know, contract guides. It's just fuck-ups that I chopped up together because I thought they were funny. I was like, man, I am screwing up so much. All right, anyways, let's get to this episode, and we'll see you next time. Whoa. Listen to this before you leave. My mic on mute. That doesn't help, does it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's going to be a teaser clip right there.
Yeah.
Shit.
Or completely cut.
No, the part... Oh, well, yeah, or completely cut. Yeah. Okay, we're cutting the entire thing. We got 5 minutes worth of workable stuff. Okay. No, I kept cutting into you talking about the order, and I think you had one more point that you never got across. I'm not sure though.
Okay, the point I was trying to make was like, the Order may not be a great game. It may not even be a good game, but it's certainly like, it's not a bad game. We can't label something that's average or something that doesn't meet our expectations. I've made several videos.
I would pay $30 for it.
Yeah, I would pay money for it. Like,
yeah.
we can't just always demand and bitch and moan. Sometimes we got to take the blinders off and look at everything as a whole. Not at face value. It's what I'm trying to say. Like, the Order face value, if you take it at face value, you're like, pretty game, not much to it. If you look at it as a whole, you can be like, yeah, 5 years in development, it probably took a lot of work on those graphics. Hey, look at these cutscenes and the voice acting. This is really well acted. This isn't like people call it. It's a movie with a little bit of gameplay. Mm-hmm. Well, how many movies actually let you participate in it?
It's an experience.
Yeah,
and isn't that why you do gaming? Isn't that what you're playing games for the experience? It's a different type.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
if you don't like it,
the Order is perfect. Like, the game's not perfect, but the game's not perfect. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine, but give it a chance. Who knows? You may play it and end up liking it. Like,
watch one of us on YouTube.
Yeah,
we do this for a reason.
Yeah. Like, I just another quick point I made. I know someone who said, "Man, I don't know about the Order. I get the feeling if I play it, I'm not gonna like it." Then the guy played it. He got back to me and he told me, "Dude, I love the Order. it may not have a lot to it, but damn, is this game like a treat on the eyes."
Right. And that's kind of what the way I look at that game too is production-wise, it looks amazing. It sounds great. The voice acting, I didn't bring that up, but good point. This is almost going to turn into like part of the Order 1886 podcast now or something. But I look at, here's the thing, what I do with my channel, and because it's what I do with myself in real life as well. I always look at these things that are being kicked, or these things that don't have a voice for themselves, or that have no power. And I say, what's really going on here? Is this really a bad thing? You know, I take that opportunity to really examine it. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that I back something just because it's down or because it's, you know, considered bad. But what I do is take a bigger examination of whatever that is, you know?
Take the blinders off.
Yeah. And like, is this correct? Is this game just total trash? Is it a total piece of shit? I heard people talking about, oh, the aiming is terrible, the lighting is terrible, and I'm like, and I watched it just kind of like as a movie, you know, somebody was playing it, and I was like, I really enjoy watching this game. I really enjoy watching this game. I was like, I can't, if I had not heard all those terrible things, I would have just enjoyed watching the game without being really critical about it as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It really is. People need to lighten up. We really need to lighten up.
You need to stop enjoying games, okay? That's your problem.
Like, I also can't understand why people are really cynical and critical nowadays, because Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that hurt a lot of people. And Destiny. Destiny's not bad. Destiny is good, but Destiny did not live up to the hype. Granted, the hype was unrealistic, but...
Exactly.
But Destiny also, like, where was the story? Like, this is Bungie. This is Bungie. They're famous for their stories, and Destiny, from its trailers, touted that it would have this big, grand, epic sci-fi story, and then there was almost nothing. And with Assassin's Creed Unity, as a whole, the game is, like... It's above average. It's a good game. Yeah. It's obviously got production value, but they released it in such a broken and buggy state, and the microtransactions, holy shit! And the microtransactions, like I can understand why people are so skeptical and cynical. But here's the thing: if we are skeptical and cynical about everything, then we miss out on what's good.
Right. If you're that way all the time, you never allow yourself to enjoy anything.
I know.
And I'm a skeptical and cynical person. That was the times that I grew up in. I'm an old fuck. So, well, in gaming, I'm terribly old. But the thing is, that was my time period. We were skeptical. We were cynical. We looked at everything as it wasn't giving you the right value. So I think because I have that already ingrained in me, I'm able to look at things critically and not just shit on them all the time. I could, but it also allows me to do the real thing behind skepticism and cynicism, which is take a closer examination examination at that and make your own determinations, not just listen to somebody else spouting. Like,
exactly.
So, like the Jimquisition, for example, he does a very valuable thing, but I also listened to what he says and tried, you know, I can hear the hyperbolic stuff. And so whenever I hear that, you know, I don't give him shit for it because I think he's actually pretty fair. You know, I think a lot of times he's pretty good. Yeah,
he is pretty good. I disagree with him on some things, but a lot of times he gets a lot of things right. He's like, Jim, you hit the nail on the head. Why don't more people listen to you?
Yeah. Well, you know, people have their ideas about like where he came from, because I think he came from where...
The Escapist?
Yeah, exactly. The Escapist. I was going to say where Yahtzee does stuff from too, and I think he does. I think he still does do things with them. I'm not sure if.
And Gamergate happened, and then the Escapist is like non-existent now. All they have is Yahtzee. Yahtzee's the only one.
Yeah, and he does his own. Do you watch his stuff?
From time to time, I'm not the biggest fan of Yahtzee. He's a very different opinion, but I think some of his jokes are just like, whoa. That's kind of crossing the line. Like, he made a joke a long time ago about two pregnant women eating each other. I'm like, okay, cross the line. Okay, yeah. Not watching another video.
Yeah, I see. And that's the thing. It's kind of like with YouTube channels, too. I cover Warframe. A lot of other channels cover Warframe. And we all have our own viewpoints on it, you know? Mm-hmm. There's an interesting thing going on in the Warframe community where people are like, oh, this and that. And I'm like, guys, we all have different ways of looking at it. Some of us prefer to do a certain, you know, pattern, and other people do another thing. my channel is just kind of starting to steamroll because it takes a while now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And people are starting to notice that I exist as a Warframer and the type of things that I do.
A
And they're like,
Warframer, that's new.
yeah, and they're like, wait a second, how come you're not doing what they're doing? And wow, you're doing this? And, you know, it's nice that other people are like, wow, I do that exact same thing. I'm glad you do too. I didn't know anyone else did that. And I'm like, that's what the channels are for. So you can go and cherry pick and just kind of bounce around and do whatever the hell you want. And, you know, you can see, you know, like, for example, your channel, you do a lot of these talks about a lot of different games, honestly.
Because,
like, really do.
A lot of people ask me for Warframe videos because we didn't bring this up, did you?
Well, we didn't. Let's tell people what the most, like, the biggest video probably, right?
Close to it.
Close to it, yeah.
Like, two of the biggest videos I've ever made is
if
this.
If they haven't seen it.
Okay, you know what? They probably bloody have. Yeah, it's most people talk. It's Warframe the musical and the top 20 Warframes.
Yes.
Those two. Warframe the musical. It's like if you've heard of a YouTube poop where it's just random clips of random shit from something. That's what I did with Warframe the musical. It's just this really silly thing where I took Warframe and I took pop culture references and music and silly stuff and mashed it all together using scenes and Warframes and all that stuff.
Right.
And like. It's very different. Like, and then I got people asking me, why aren't you doing weapon reviews? Why aren't you talking about Warframes? Why aren't you putting up... Like, that's not what my channel's about. Yeah. I did Warframe the musical because it's funny, because Warframe's this super serious, we're space ninjas, we're trying to save the galaxy, we gotta get gear and loot, and then my Warframe the musical comes along and like, pop culture references, breaking the fourth wall, all this silly stuff. That's what, like, I was taking what Warframe was and putting it in reverse. What if Warframe wasn't super serious and all about grinding a loot, about silliness and references and all that stuff?
And I think that that's important because there's enough, like, you know, that steamrolled one way with the builds and all that and day one content. Actually, I just released a video about making fun of that. I was like, obligatory video for day one content, obligatory video. And I just I had like 3 cuts where I just screwed up the beginning. And I'm like, obligatory video. And I just got so much wrong in the video. And I made these weird cuts. And I was just like, yeah, this is a thing. And you've got to, I don't know, here's Rhiney Primey. And just making fun of it. Because people really, they push, like, if as a small channel, specifically with covering Warframe, if you're not there on day one when content's released, it's really hard to get views. So that was my showing the public and kind of like making fun of it for myself, how silly it really is to bandwagon on certain channels when they're not really, they're templating it out and they can't. You know, they're not noticing. It's like, well, this is not really giving you anything. Yeah,
I know. If one YouTuber does something, that doesn't mean, okay, everybody else do what he does.
It kind of went that way for Warframe. I don't know if you noticed. It kind of went that way.
It went that way for a while. Like, Mogamu, like, we all know who Mogamu is. If you know Warframe, like, it's like he's number one. He's on top of that. He's number one. He's most popular for Warframe builds and day one stuff and new stuff. Like, and everybody wants it. Like, I did my top 20 Warframes, and people are so pissed at me because I have the word "the" in the title. Because like no one actually listens to what I say in the video. They see the word "the" in the title. They see the word "the" like, oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. How is it wrong? It's my opinion. These are my favorite frames. The only reason I called it the top 20 Warframes is not for view whoring, not for clickbait. I called it that because it just sounded nicer. Yeah. Really, that's the only reason I put the word "the" in the title, because it sounds nicer when I say it. The top 20 Warframes. There just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, like, and you never really know what it's going to be, man. You really never know who's going to fixate on something. You really
I know, like, and people are like, this is wrong. This is not the best Warframe. I'm not talking about the best Warframes. I'm talking about my favorite.
I watched it. Yeah, and you did make it clear that these were your favorites. Not like, this is the best and whatever. And I remember watching it, and I was like, okay, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But he said that's his favorite list, so why am I going to, like, shit on him? There's no point, you know?
Yeah. Like,
you're not trying to lay it down like you can only see. And I specifically take I take I that's a pet peeve of mine where I will call that kind of stuff out during my, like, I do builds occasionally because if I don't see something that's done how I do it, which happens quite a lot actually, that's when I will do a build because people are like, well, how did you do that? And I'm like, I'm sorry that you're not getting this good information elsewhere, but I don't want to be doing builds either. I think like in a recent video, I was like, guys, I don't want to do build videos. They're dumb. Building is not really that complicated. And if you watch
one of entertaining a video,
it's not like, do you want to watch? Here's what's the build for Corpus and Grenier, and guess what? It's the same fucking build you watched last week. It's like, why do you want me to do that for you? All you have to watch that other video. It's the same shit, man. Come on. Oh, you want the stats? Go to the wiki. That's what the wiki is. It's there for all the entire time.
Why these videos, like, everybody's asking me, can you do more Warframe the Musical? Hey, how about you do more Warframe videos, like builds and reviews? Like, why? Someone else already does that and does that
exactly.
better.
Yeah. It's hard to break into that.
I play games for fun. I do awesome fun little videos. Like, I recently made a very, very silly video called Evolve versus Attack on Titan. One's an anime, one's a video game. They're completely opposite things, but I did that. I make videos because they're fun and they entertain people.
Yeah.
I don't do it. And
that's why I like your channel, because you have a range of things. It's not just, and you're trying different things too. I saw that you were restructuring a bit and trying to change things up.
I've made a few new shows. Like, I'm doing reviews again, but I'm doing them differently. I'm making reviews that review specific types of games I like, games I think that are great for people who love action, and games that, well, I think are masterpieces.
Right. Yeah, it's cool. It's interesting stuff, and it's nice to see that, change up and everything. Whew, well. I think that we've got quite a lot of good content here.
Yeah, I think when we started this video, we said, let's go for 20, 30 minutes. How long is it?
About an hour and 24. I told you I like talking video games. The good thing is I can probably block this up into 3 or 4 vids or whatever and release that over time. So that's worked out for me in the past. So I'm going to do that. And I might have to cut some parts out, if they don't flow.
Wait, is this still part? Should we stop recording? Are we going to say?
Yeah, you can stop recording. I'm going to stop recording now too.
Okay.
Because I'll do an exit, but if you want, you could totally do an outro. Some people are not good at it, and so they don't like being put on the spot. There's no worry there. But I can ask you where. If you've got something, do you got something?
Okay, not really. Okay, I can say this. Like, okay, I'll record this.
Okay, how about this? Okay, so now that we've covered about everything from like an anthill to a mountain, what Warframe to the Order 1886 cast, apparently. Where can people find your stuff? Because we've talked about it, but I want to go ahead and put this up on screen in the comments, because nobody reads the description. So I'm going to put this everywhere. I am not kidding. I put stuff in the comments now too, because I'm like, you fuckers don't read the description. So I'm putting it on the screen in the comments. I'm going to tweet directly at you.
Yeah,
where can they find you?
They can find me at the GamerTron show on YouTube. I don't have Facebook or Twitter. It's like, that shit's too complicated for me. I'm a dumbass. So it's just a YouTube channel. Just type in the GamerTron show. You will find me. The cool green image that says Tron. You'll find me. The GamerTron show on YouTube.
Perfect. Where was that?
The GamerTron show, and it's on YouTube. I believe there's this thing on YouTube. They have this search. Yeah, you can type in letters and you click a button.
I've heard of it.
And you get a bunch of options and stuff. It's really neat.
Great, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna drop, like I said, I'll put that in the vid. I'll put that in the comments, and I'll put that in the description. Okay, man, it was great talking to you. So I think that if I find any other little topics, and I do, when I listen to your stuff, I'm like, ooh, I want to make, and you've seen, I will leave big comments.
Yeah, you have. I love
But I do that to every channel, that I actually like content for. And it's not to oh, hey, I need you to come back to my channel, or I need you to respond to me directly, but I legitimately am interested in what's going on. So, I encourage big comments, even in my channels, my content. Somebody was even like, oh, I put that in all caps. Sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. All caps are okay here, as long as you're not being a dick about it.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Well, it's good talking to you. And, we'll see ya. All right, guys, that wraps up everything for this series. Really had a great time talking to Ryan from the GamerTron Show channel. He's actually got a couple of vids up, I guess video podcasts up. I think he has gameplay in the background. And he's talking to another dude about Warframe, and they're really talking about what's going on with the current status of Chroma and all that. So it's very interesting. If I were you, I'd go check it out if you're really interested in Warframe. I just put that stuff on while I'm at work in another tab, and I'm like, you know, doing my code work, and I'm listening to them, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could be part of that conversation. That's always that's how I am with video gaming talk. So I don't have anyone else lined up to talk. So, you know, until somebody steps forward, or until I find someone else that has the time to actually do this, there's not going to be another gaming cast until I can get some. I might do some solo ones here and there like I've been doing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for all your support so far. And I really do, if you are following, that's one thing. If you're following me on Twitter, I've moved from Beer Bullets BS to @Janzer247. And there's a reason why, but yeah, if you're following me, make the switch over. You can unfollow the other account. No need to follow multiple accounts. I'm not going to really use the other one, but I'm going to be on the @Janzer247, so on Twitter. But hope to see y'all around, and do me a favor, share this if you can. It's how this stuff gets out there. Otherwise, I get buried by all the bigger channels. That's probably how it should be, right? Oh, God. All right, I'm having a good time here. We'll see y'all around.